Good morning. It is 10:33 a.m. and time to start the meeting. For the benefit of the visitors to the committee, I would like to make introductions. I am Councillor Fletcher. I am the chair for today's subcommittee meeting. I am also joined by fellow councillors, Councillor Mrs Fairclough and Councillor Karan, who make up today's committee. Also present are Nicola Raby for Legal Services, Sharon Bradshaw from Democratic Services, and Elizabeth Pritchard, the Principal Licensing Officer. Also present is John Duckett from the IT team, and the applicant, Christopher Hayes, is also in attendance. Today's hearing is to consider a conviction of personal licence holder of a relevant offence. I will now request if any members have any declarations of interest to declare. No declarations of interest.
No, I have nothing to declare, thank you.
I have nothing to declare.
No declarations of interest have been declared. Mr. Hayes.
Hello there.
Hi, thank you for joining us today. I'll just set out the procedure for today's hearing. The licence officer is to make representations. Councillors and yourself are to raise any questions to the licensing officer. Thereafter, yourself will make representations, and all members will then have the opportunity to raise any questions of you that they may have. If there are any other parties making representations at this time, they will then put their questions forward thereafter. Following this, and once all questions are completed, you are then able to make a closing statement in respect of your application before the subcommittee will retire to make a decision in the matter. Do you understand that?
Yes, that's fine, thank you.
Okay. So all members have read and familiarised themselves with the papers, and therefore the parties are not required to repeat their written submissions or evidence unless for clarification or amendments. Can you just check, Mr. Hayes, that you have received all documentation and you have read it all?
Yes, that's correct, yes.
Okay, so now we will commence the hearing. Licensing officer, do you have any comments to make?
Chair, just to say that it relates to a personal licence holder who's been convicted of a relevant offence. He's been given notice. He has provided representations in writing which are attached to the report which you've seen, and he's here today to provide further representation. The police have made no further comment in relation to this matter. It relates to a drink driving offence from November 2019. Thank you.
I will now ask any members if they have any questions of the licensing officer.
No, I have no questions, thank you.
No, I have no question. Thank you.
I also have no questions. Mr. Hayes, do you have any questions of the licensing officer that you'd like to raise?
No, I have none, thank you.
Okay, so now we'll go to yourself, Mr. Hayes. So you're able to make representations now, anything that you want to add, and then it'll be open for members to question anything that you have.
Okay, so you obviously just previously stated that obviously I did send a letter with the representation of sort of the circumstances around what happened, my feelings on it. Just want to add on that I now have my licence back, my driving licence is back, and I am back on the road. My 12-month ban was reduced to 9 after attending the driving course as I stipulated in the letter, so I am back on the road now. The only other point I would like to add is if my licence is revoked or taken away, there's some financial penalty that I will suffer due to being the DPS at my place of work. Being that DPS obviously comes with great responsibility. I appreciate that and understand that, but it also I'm also on a bit of extra, if you like, bonus, I suppose is the best word for it. So if that licence is revoked, then obviously I would lose that financial in my pay pack each month. Other than that, I've nothing else really to add. I suppose it was a stupid mistake. It's a misjudgment, and I do regret it immensely. It's had such an impact on my day-to-day life, as you can may or not imagine. I'm not sure. But yeah, I'm regretting it, and I probably still regret it for for a few years to come yet. I would certainly think.
Thank you. Do we have any questions by the members for Mr. Hayes?
I have a question, please.
Okay.
Mr. Hayes, obviously you've told us that this has had a great effect on you. Can you tell me how you'd come to have been drinking? Well, obviously when you're in a job of such responsibility, is it normal for you to drink during the time that you're working?
No, it isn't. Not at all. I really don't drink at all. It's very, very rare that I have a drink. I certainly don't drink at home. I don't feel the need to. I don't depend on drink by any stretch of the imagination. I think the day in question, it had just been probably a particular taxing day at work. It was a drink after work. I only had the vision of going and having one. I had two glasses of wine, and it was silly, and it shouldn't have happened. But no, I certainly don't. It's not normal. It's certainly not a normal practice that I will go out every night or certainly once a week and have a drink. No, not at all. Probably special occasions, I may, a wedding or a birthday celebration. I've been driving since I could, since 16, 17 years old. I passed my test, and I've never had anything like this before. I believe 40 milligram, which is probably the lowest end of the limit. So no, it's not something that I practice daily or weekly or anything really.
Okay, thank you for that. I've no further questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Karam, do you have any questions?
Councillor Karam,
No,
you're muted.
I don't have any question. No, I have no question.
Okay, thank you. I actually have a question, Mr. Hayes. My question is that when you attended the court appearance, the log on the court actually says that you didn't mention about your job role. I'm just wondering the reason for that, because usually then you are actually asked what your job position is when you attend the court. So I'm just wondering if there was any background to that you could enlighten me on.
Why I didn't mention my job? I don't. To be honest, I don't. I don't know if I was asked that. I don't recall being asked, if I'm honest. I mean, as you can imagine, the day in court was the whole experience of sort of being arrested and being in trouble with the police and going to the police station for the first time in my life and hopefully the last time in my life. And then the day in court comes. I think it was a bit of a whirlwind experience, I suppose. I wasn't certainly withholding any information in the court. I was as honest as I could have been. I was honest with the questions that I was asked. I certainly didn't withhold my job or anything of that ilk. I didn't mention that I was a personal license holder. I think the only reason I can potentially think was, it kind of wasn't in my mind. It was just getting through the day, and it was just a very overwhelming experience, for someone who's never been in trouble for anything really. So I certainly wasn't withholding any information in the court, and I wasn't withholding any information with my job and what I do really. And then as soon as I kind of got home, I was just reflecting on certainly a few days after, I was reflecting on my experience and everything else, and then it just struck to me that yes, I am a license holder. It does have an impact on that, and I notified. I emailed the licensing officer along with the court as well. Just to say, look, I'm really sorry. I'm not sure what what the next steps are. So, you know, here's what's happened.
Okay, thank you for that. Are there any other questions?
Sorry, could I
No.
just ask one further question?
Yeah, Councillor Fairclough.
Thank you. You mentioned obviously that your job is running a bar or club or something, and obviously to lose your license would be difficult, I assume. But are you saying that you would still have a job if you were to have your license revoked? Perhaps you've another personal license holder, or are you saying that you would lose your job if you had your license revoked?
No, I wouldn't lose my job. I'm very lucky to have a very supportive employer. It's actually a hotel. I am a director of a hotel in South Manchester, and one of my responsibilities of that job is that I hold the license. Well, I'm the DPS on the license. The license is actually in the company's name. We do have, as per the license objectives, we do have other license holders that we have. Obviously, we do try and keep one license holder on site at all times whilst the bar, certainly the bar operation is open. It's not a 24-hour bar. It's, you know, it's obviously within the license of the premises license. I would still have a job, yes. Probably luckily, I would still have a job. So it's yes, yeah, I would lose some financial benefit of being that DPS. There's an enhancement in my wage that I do hold that license.
Right. Thank you for that. Thank you very much.
No problems.
I've no other questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any more questions?
No.
Okay, as there are no other parties here to make any representations, it is now up to you, Mr. Hayes. You can sum up so that you can put your last submissions as to why you feel your application should be seen for you to continue with your personal license, please.
Okay, thank you. Maybe just to sum up then, it's, I suppose the whole experience has been a bit of a whirlwind. The last 5 months have been certainly a whirlwind. There's not a day I don't go by thinking what I've done and what, you know, probably I shouldn't have done it. I know I shouldn't have done it. I am a responsible person. I'm a very liked person, certainly in the community. I like to see myself as an outstanding member of the community as well. I do a lot of charitable works and a lot of works where we raise money for, certainly for the Christie Hospital. Each year we have a big event. I think one of the main reasons I do that is because, you know, I like to give something back to the community and other people. One of the things that we do with that is sometimes we will arrange sort of fun days and things where, you know, we do need a license to sell alcohol. I am the only person that on that sort of fundraising committee that does have a personal license, so it always is in my name. So there is that impact as well. That could potentially, if I do lose a license, then we'd have to rethink that. But you know, on a personal level, I just want to apologise, and I just want to apologise for my actions. It's been unbearable, I suppose. It's, you know, look, I am back on the road now. I am. I do have my licence back. I do realise the consequences of what I've done. Certainly, when you do the driving course, I suppose that the court set you, it does open your eyes slightly a bit more than I probably already realised. I know I'm constantly watching people that come through the hotel doors, making sure that people are being responsible, that we don't allow people to drive home, and stupidly I did it myself. So yeah, I am very sorry. I do regret it, and I still regret it. I haven't taken it lightly. I certainly haven't taken it lying down either. Embarrassed and just, again, very, very sorry.
Okay. Thank you for your time, Mr. Hayes. The subcommittee will now retire to make a decision, and you'll be notified of the outcome by writing. You should remain available should the need arise for the subcommittee to clarify any specific points with you.
Okay.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you very much for your time, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.